so long as man has walked the earth and looked to thrive in its harsh environs, he has yearned to eat 3 meals a day. That's upwards of 100,000 meals in a lifetime. Some see this as a chore or a necessary evil, but to others, it is an opportunity. It is the greatest opportunity the world has to offer.
With Sam.
I love Momofuku pork buns, but at $9 for an order of 2, it's just too expensive, especially since it uses some of the cheapest ingredients that you can find at a grocery store. So I've come up with a recipe that recreates a lot of those flavors, but at a much smaller price. The first thing I'm doing is, instead of using pork belly, which you see at a lot of restaurants, but it's relatively hard to find at your grocery store, is I'm using slab bacon, which is made out of pork belly, but is then cured and smoked. It's a little bit too strong for what we're doing, but by changing the water after the first hour, it's gonna leach out a lot of the salt and give us a more mild pork flavor that's similar to what you get at those really delicious pork buns. Now, I'm just gonna take this, I'm not gonna do anything to it. I'm gonna put it in a nice big heavy pot. I'm gonna cover that with water. Real simple, just meat and water in the pot. But I'm gonna cover it with a lid, preheat the oven to 250 degrees, and put it in there for an hour. During that first hour while the pork is in the oven, we're gonna make some pickled cucumbers Asian style to put on the sandwiches. If you have a mandolin like this, it's really easy, but you can also do it with a knife. The mandolin, it's just like this. See? Once I'm done slicing those, I'm gonna make a really easy dressing in. And the dressing just has 2 ingredients. It's rice vinegar and equal parts sugar. I'm not even gonna measure the sugar, I'm just gonna sort of eyeball that. I'm gonna put these into a Ziploc bag before I put them in the fridge so that they take up less space and they're in more contact with the pickling liquid. Pull these out, put them in the bag, and that's it. Put these in the fridge and let them go till tomorrow. The pork's been cooking for about an hour, so now it's time to take it out of the oven and change the water. Pour this water off into the sink. Then we'll put the pork back in the pot, add the water. So it's back in the oven. You can cook it for at least 6 hours at 250 degrees, but at that low temperature, you really can't overcook it. 12 hours is great, and that way it gets really soft and tender. The pork's been cooking for about 7.5 hours now, and it's ready to come out of the oven. You can see that it's really soft and it's gotten a lot smaller. I mean, you can see that it's totally falling apart right now. You could break this apart like with a spoon or with your fingers really easily. So it's time to make it into sandwiches and pork buns. Alright, so now that the pork is out of the oven and nice and tender, I'm going to show you how to make some of the Momofuku style pork buns. I'm going to take one of these little rolls here and I'm going to give it a drop of the hoisin sauce, and I'm going to put some of the hot sauce on the other side. And then I'll take the pork and I'm going to take a few of these pickled cucumbers that we made yesterday with the rice vinegar and the sugar and put that on the other side. You put it together. Now I have a really big messy sandwich. Now I'm going to take a bite out of it. That's really good. Wow, you guys make them. Alright. I have some other stuff that you can play with and go for it.
On a little beautiful fresh cucumber. No. They both, my parents.
You can take the ones that are
samples.
So
if I don't like the pork buns today.
Wow, Sam, this is delicious, by the way.
Sandwich. I added smoked paprika to mine, so.
Thank you. There.
Please.
On there.
Delicious.
Good.
That's delicious.
Continue to make the biggest.
Probably better than Momofuku.
You know what sandwich is really good? When it's like kind of exploding on you, both in a taste way and in a physical properties way. And this has both.
It's the perfect amount of spicy. It's like burning my lips in a good way.
It's delicious.
Did you guys like it? Yeah. Did you like it? Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you guys for coming, and go off and make your own pork buns in your house.
I will.
Yes, do it now.
Buckaroo Studios.